Try this little thought experiment. You're now dead, and your grown children are sitting around the kitchen table talking about you. In the minority language, let's hope. Your spirit is hovering above them and listening. What do you hear? What are your children saying as they reminisce about the years you spent together on this earth? Will they be recalling how serious you were about helping them become bilingual? How much hard work you put into nurturing their language development? Maybe they will, to some degree. But I'm guessing they'll remember something else about you, something that will leave a deeper impression in their minds and hearts than your serious, hard-working side. And the truth is, this other part of your nature has a crucial impact right now on your efforts to maximize your children's bilingual ability. I'm Adam Beck, and this is Bilingual Super Kids, the channel that can help you experience greater success and joy raising bilingual or multilingual kids. First, consider this. What do you remember most about your own parents as you think back to your childhood? In my case, some of my memories aren't pleasant because my parents divorced when I was a teenager. But beyond those memories, beneath those memories, here are the kinds of things I remember most about them. I remember picking blueberries with my mother on a summer day when I was small. In fact, that happy memory inspired my own family's blueberry picking adventures. I also remember dancing around the room as she played the piano. My mother was a classical pianist and a serious musician, but I could get her laughing when I did my silly dancing. I remember my father playing card games with me. We played card games all the time, and he taught me how to shuffle. I remember making little films with him too, with an old Super 8 movie camera. He was my actor, and he was such a ham. He was probably the greatest over-actor in the history of cinema. Just from these first few memories of my parents, can you spot a common theme? See, when you're hovering there in your kitchen, listening to your children reminisce about you, I think what you'll hear most of all are memories like mine. Memories of how you played with them. They'll remember how you read funny books and drew silly pictures. How you played together with toys and games and talked to their stuffed animals. How you played catch in the backyard and hide and seek all over the house and then tickled them when you found them. They'll remember walking in the woods with you, maybe looking for Bigfoot, and going to the beach and collecting pretty seashells. They'll remember how you joked with them and laughed with them and sang with them and danced with them. They'll remember how you played. Of course, they won't always recall these things precisely as individual incidents, but you can be sure that these experiences will form an overall impression of your spirit as their mother or their father. So how is this important to parents raising bilingual kids? I mean, beyond its impact on the parent-child bond itself. Well, in my view, the ideal formula for nurturing strong bilingual ability in a child involves being both extremely serious about the aim and yet extremely playful about the approach. I'm lousy at math, but I would even suggest an equation that goes something like this. The more serious you are about the aim, and the more playful you are about the approach, the more progress you'll likely experience on your family's bilingual journey. This is an odd and delicate balance, I understand, but it's a vital part of sustaining effective action day after day. The expectations we place upon our children for extra effort in the minority language will be much easier for them to accept when we pursue this as lightly and playfully and joyfully as possible. If the balance is tipped too heavily toward the serious side, this journey can feel like a burden for both parent and child. In the child's eyes, the parent primarily becomes a taskmaster, and not only is this damaging to the parent-child bond, there will likely be more resistance to the aim itself. On the other hand, if we're not serious enough, if we're too easygoing about our actions, they probably won't view our expectations very seriously either, and will wonder if the minority language is really so important after all. In this scenario, essential routines like reading aloud and daily homework become much harder to maintain. For me, the rewarding results that I've experienced as a teacher and as a parent are directly connected to the fact that I'm both extremely serious about this aim and yet extremely playful in how I pursue it. My expectations have always been high for the children I work with, but this is tempered by the playful spirit that animates my actions. Not only do children respond far better to a playful approach, it makes the experience more enjoyable for the adult too. When you have the right kind of balance, the serious extreme on one end is softened, lightened by the playful extreme on the other. And that playfulness helps sustain the efforts of both parent and child. I'm not suggesting that everything should feel like fun and games. That isn't possible or even desirable. As they get older, children need to accept the fact that sometimes sweat and discipline are necessary to complete a task. At the same time, it's vital to maintain a strong sense of humor and playfulness, particularly through the younger years, so that your children will feel positively toward the minority language and be willing, even eager, to make this long journey with you. So remember, the more we seek the extremes, being extremely serious on one hand and yet extremely playful on the other, the more success we will experience on our bilingual journey. And at the same time, being proactive about being playful will leave our children with joyful memories of us long after we're gone from this world.